Thorburn Miaris, and our first guest today is Mr. Greg Thorburn from Luna Grill. Welcome, Greg.
Hey, Barry, thanks for having me.
Great. So Luna Grill, I have been there. Of course, it's easy to get to. You have, 13 locations in town?
We do. So you should be able to find one nearby these days.
Let's hope so. Well, you have one in every neighborhood. So great. Tell us about Luna Grill. What's special about Luna Grill? Tell us.
Absolutely. Well, Luna Grill was started 10 years ago by Sean and Maria Portimer. It's a local couple here. And, candidly, we come at it from a mindset of a consumer. They were, parents with young kids, and they were looking at food options. What can I feed my kids that's healthy, that I feel good about, whether we're dining out or picking up and taking home, that's healthy, first and foremost, and two, is affordable and doesn't break the bank. And that's kind of where we started, and they decided to open their own restaurant and focus on healthy food that was not only, flavorful, but healthy and good for you. And that's where they started 10 years ago, and we opened our first restaurant in Carmel Valley. And despite all the challenges of learning the restaurant business, they actually put out a product and I think created an environment that people liked. And so that's where we started 10 years ago. And I think what makes us different, since then, is that we've continued to focus on that high quality food. So, whether it's the produce, the proteins, we're cooking food that is better for you. Some of it's grass-fed, some of it's organic, a lot of it's all natural. And so people can taste that quality. So whether you like the flavor of the food or you like the fact that it's good for you, we've got a lot of people that come in over time and try it out for various reasons.
Right. And your restaurant is, I would say it's in the classification of a fast casual restaurant?
It is. Great. Yeah. So it's fast casual. You come in, you order at the counter. And what's different, I think, about us than some folks is your food's actually prepared for you at that point in time. We actually cook the food to order. You take a number, you sit down, and we try and create a little bit more of an upscale, fast casual dining environment. So we do table service. People come out, they bring the food to you. It's served on a nice piece of china. People will come back and actually check on you, see if they can get something for you. And so we do little things like there's no trash cans in the restaurant. We don't want people to come in and try and bust their own tables.
Right.
We're not
Thank
using. You're welcome. Yeah, we're not using paper or plastic.
Right.
When you walk into the restroom, one of our main things is we want people to feel like you're going into a restroom maybe in your home, and so it's just a little bit nicer. We're very, very picky about cleanliness, and I think you feel that. And so when you come in, you're getting a high quality food that you would normally get at a sit down restaurant, but you're paying fast casual pricing for that, and people really appreciate that. So
yeah, well, we talked before we were on air, and I thought it was interesting. When you take the right philosophy in business, you said you have one shot to make a good impression with people walking in. That's most restaurants or most fast restaurants are into getting you in, getting you done, getting you out. Tell us about what makes a good first impression walking into Luna Grill.
Sure, great question. I mean, for us, first and foremost, people are going to look at the build out and the design, and so we want something that appeals. And so we do probably higher end finishes than you would normally see in a fast casual environment. And so that's the first thing that draws people in. Two is just the food. When you want to see food that's appealing, you want to see food that looks like something you want to dig into.
Mm-hmm.
And then three for us, once someone comes in, is really just the service. Mm-hmm. And to your point, once people come in, we got one shot to make a first impression. And so it's that corporate culture that we've created with our employees over the years that we think resonates out to our customers. They feel the excitement. Someone's not just taking an order because they have to. They're taking an order and they're working there because they actually really love working there.
I'd like to add one more for the first impression. I think the smell of the yummy food creates
Absolutely.
a really amazing first impression when you go in. The smell of the grilled chicken, which is my favorite,
right,
is just so mouth-watering, and then you've got the great service on top of it, which I can personally attest to. Usually you're lucky if you get a smile out of somebody, when you're going in these days, at even some of the nicer restaurants, but to have such the friendly staff that you guys have there, I got such phenomenal service. I think he refilled my Diet Coke for me without even asking. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that sometimes I struggle to get in like a full service restaurant.
Yeah,
but it's pretty basic.
It is, and for us, again, we want people to be able to come in and get, service fast casual 10, 15, 20 years ago is really what we're doing. Over the last 10 years, everybody wants to be called fast casual, whether they're in fast food or maybe a conveyor belt type of assembly like someone else. But we truly believe in offering service to our customers, and we think people that come in, if they want to actually have a drink and hang out and linger for a while, we love that, and we're not trying to get people out the door. So
yes, I guess I was a bit of a malingerer. I was taking a little time on my chicken, but the atmosphere is just so wonderful. So thank you for that.
They don't have a sampler that gives you a sample of everything. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
So, well, I'm looking down and I see that one of your founders won the San Diego Metro's 40 Under 40 award. Tell us about that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Sean and Maria obviously are very involved in their community. And so I think from the growth of Luna Grill over the last 10 years and their ability to grow this company, plus be involved in causes and things that are important to them. Like I said, we came at this from a consumer standpoint. And so they were always looking for things that were important to them as a consumer. And Maria grew up kind of coming out of the restaurant business, and Sean actually grew up as a developer, and so they weren't restaurateurs, and so the fact that they could kind of combine their experiences to create their ideal type of restaurant environment, I think they've also applied to other aspects of their careers and their lives over the years. And so
I think we're getting a theme on this because a lot of our great restaurants, at least that have been on the show, have all come from other industries and done fabulous jobs in the restaurant business.
And they all have a community give back mindset. They're
Absolutely.
tied into the community, and I think that there's a couple of reasons for why that ends up resulting in better business for them and better results in business. When you're thinking when you're tied into the community, it's like you said, when you're thinking from the consumer standpoint in terms of, because restaurant owners are consumers themselves. Now you guys are in a major expansion mode. Right, you're taking advantage of the success. Now, what's that going to look like? Is it going to look like different types of food in different places, or are you sticking with what works?
Yeah, great question. So we are, all of our locations are corporately owned. We're not interested in franchising. It's just not the direction we want to go. But we feel like over the last 10 years, Luna Grill has a name and a product in San Diego that people really resonate with. So starting about 18 months ago, we expanded into Orange County and opened our first restaurants there. We have 4 restaurants there today, and we're about to open our 5th here in about 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And obviously, that's a natural expansion, out of San Diego. Beyond that, for us, we've built a platform kind of on the operational side and the supply chain side over the last 10 years, making our restaurants efficient. Serving high quality food, but in a fast casual environment that's pretty quick, but it's still cooked to order is really hard to do.
Yeah.
And so we've built a platform that we think we can replicate other places, and we think people will resonate with this. So we're expanding into LA as we speak, and we'll open our first restaurant in Dallas, Texas here in about a month and a half.
Yay, going to the Big D. Whose idea was that? There's lots of other towns.
There are. Great question. We looked at a lot of markets around the country, and we think there's many that resonate with our food and our type of customer, but we felt like for many reasons, Dallas, folks eat out there more often than most places. People also, resonate with high quality food, and so we felt like that was a really good market to start with. And so that's how we picked Dallas.
It's amazing. 40 years ago when I was in the restaurant business, we talked about health foods. And none of the restaurateurs would say, well, it's not time yet.
Right.
And now I see it's coming and coming, and diseases now or illnesses that are epidemic, which are caused directly or indirectly by our diet. We should have started health foods decades ago.
Yeah.
It's exciting to see it become so popular.
Yeah.
I think of the diabetes right away, how epidemic it is now, and in most cases it's dietary controlled.
Yeah, and Urban, I would just say it's funny. People should have offered higher quality food in the past, but seeing what's happened over the last 5 and 10 years, we get customers that come to us and say, "Hey, I can't eat a lot of places. I do have food allergies or maybe something more severe, but I can come into your restaurant, I can eat the food, and because you guys aren't putting a bunch of stuff into it and there's not preservatives, I walk out and I can actually eat it. And it works with my diet, and I'm just ordering off the menu. I'm not making. I'm not asking you to make exceptions."
We used to have that saying, if it tastes good, it's no good for you.
Right.
If it's lousy, it's probably healthy, and it's Not true anymore. Not true at all.
Yeah. You're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business here on KFSD AM 1450 and financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler, here with my co-host, Andrea Kay and Urban Miaris. And our guest is Greg Thorburn from Luna Grill. So, one thing we haven't talked about that I think our listeners would like to hear is, for those listeners that haven't been to a Luna Grill yet, tell them what the menu looks like.
Absolutely. Our menu is, when you walk in, it's fresh Mediterranean. That's the way we would describe it. And so you're going to find flavors that you would normally find around the Mediterranean. The food's going to be healthy. So we have salads. We have some traditional Mediterranean dishes. And then we have some things that I would call kind of, Southern California fare, but with some Mediterranean flavors. And so we do have traditional kebab plates. We do have great salads. We'll have some of the hummus and other things you would normally find, but the quality of the food will be higher than I think you experience most places, and beyond being good for you, like I said, the food tastes great. Right. And so
and Mediterranean food is known to be healthy.
It is.
It's just naturally healthy in the way it's prepared and cooked, and it's just delicious.
Yeah, that's great. Well, we're starting to run short on time. So, Greg, if you tell our listeners, how do they find out more about Luna Grill? Are there any locations that they want to come to? Website? Tell us how to find you.
Absolutely. The easiest way to do that is to go to our website. It is lunagrill.com, and you can just hit the drop down and see any of our current 13 open locations. And our newest location in San Diego County is in Rancho San Diego. So that community is very excited in the Target Center there off of Hamishaw. And in Orange County, our newest location will open in 2 weeks in Aliso Viejo at the town center there. So come on by. We'd love to invite anybody out there to try our food if you haven't. And we think you'll hopefully be impressed.
Well, that sounds great. And I want to thank you for a few things before we finish up here. I noticed that you employ over 100 of our San Diego residents, which is a wonderful thing. We always like employers that support the employee base here. And you have given back to a lot of local charities here. Some of the folks from Promises to Kids who've been on the show before, and National Latino Peace Officers Association, AJ's Kids. You've got a bunch of them, so our hats off. I really appreciate what you do for our community. So,
well, thanks for having me on. We do. We like to get involved. We let each of our local restaurants and the staff and the team there help pick local charities that they want to get involved with, and so we really empower our employees to do that and dig in and not just have it be kind of a corporate campaign that we get involved with. So,
well, I don't normally do this on air, but I'm going to reach out and do this one time. Because we're working with the guys at REIG when we do Operation Renovation, I would love to see you when we do a rollout for that. Have Luna Grill come up and cater an event up there for us.
We'd love to do it. Absolutely, we'd love to do it. Thanks for the invite, and we'll take you up on it.
Hopefully, Patrick's listening. Great. Yeah. Thanks for being with us. Okay, you're listening to Close Up on San Diego Business, where we get up close and personal with homegrown San Diego businesses and the people that are working hard to make a difference in our community. This is financialnewsandtalk.com. I'm your host, Barry Waxler. We'll be right back after the break with more homegrown business Close Up, and we will have with us, who is next on the Josh Rosenthal from Shirts Unlimited.